Yeah, man.
All right, well, we're recording. For everybody seeing this for the first time, we're going to start doing a weekly conversation that we call Chemical Conversations. And what we're going to do is have a customer of ours who has been using a product walk with us through why they use that product, maybe how they use that product, the benefits and the opportunities that come about by working with that product. Now, today we've got Ian Horowitz here with us, and he's from Manta up in North Jersey. So I want to introduce Ian to everybody, and today's topic is going to be botanical. In the light of the recent hurricane, we want to talk about cleanup from those disaster events. So Ian, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Mark.
So in addition to Ian being a long-term customer, he's also a recent distributor of our products with Enviroguard North Atlantic. So maybe we can start there with the distribution side of things, because we want to be completely on board with everybody as far as our relationship and things of that nature, but then also get over into the contracting side and really discuss the product.
Sure. So we joined the Enviroguard team, I don't know, mid-April, beginning of May, something like that. We have, the reason why I did it was I've been using the Enviroguard products now since I began in this business. Always really thought they were exceptional products, and I thought the Enviroguard way of dealing with customers and really helping out was kind of something I really wanted to be a part of. So when Mark reached out to me and I asked if I wanted to join the team, I thought it was kind of a slam dunk opportunity. So we're here in Chatham, New Jersey, which is 20 miles west of the Holland Tunnel, and we service basically northern New Jersey, northern Pennsylvania, and then all of New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts.
So now, recently we had a hurricane, and it affected almost the entire East Coast. And I know in a conversation that we're having, which is what kind of spurred us to have this conversation today, we were talking about all different ways that you use botanical on a daily basis, all the way through this disaster response. And it's kind of outside of what, as a chemical manufacturer, we think of on a day-to-day basis. So the reason for this is to say, hey, we've got a great product, but look at all of these different opportunities and ways of using it that can help your top and bottom line.
Right. So first off, we are a prep and par company through and through. I mean, we love it for our mold remediation work. It's been a part of the system since the beginning, and it absolutely serves a purpose every day. I've got a team of techs out right now doing an attic with prep and par. But we here, especially here in the Northeast, have a lot more finished basements than we do crawl spaces or unfinished basements. So a lot of people use that space as as living space. And when you get that water that comes in, whether it's a failed sump pump or window well or what have you, into that typically carpeted area or sheetrocked area, it stinks. It really smells, and it's at the bottom of your stack of your house. So all that odor is going up into that first floor and going up into that second floor. So when we get in there to start taking care of the situation, the prep par combination, the hydrogen peroxide and the hypochlorite, it's not really going to give the customer that, it's not going to alleviate that odor for them. The Thymo product, a component of Botanical, really does create a much more pleasant environment. And so, when we go in and, our most basic job would be to rip out the pad and float the carpet. So we're not going to dispose of the carpet. Botanical is a great thing to spray on the back of the on the backing of the carpet while you're floating it, and then we even sometimes will be asked to spray it, apply it on the front side of the carpet before we lay it back down. It just really it really gives a pleasant odor.
Yeah. Now let me back up. Can I back up for a second and just ask you a couple of questions?
Sure.
So, often we think of Botanical as a product for cleaning. We think of it as a product for antimicrobial application as well as for deodorization. So when you're in a situation like that, where you're in a basement and you've had storm damage, water intrusion, whatever the case may be, part of the component is alleviating the odor. Is that the primary focus at that point in time, or are you also looking at the cleaning side, the antimicrobial capacity, that sort of thing?
It's not I guess it's not the primary. The primary is to make the space safe. So this is antimicrobial, antibacterial. We want to get that space both safe for the family, the homeowners, as well as the technicians, right? We're going to be in there quite a lot over the next few days. We definitely want to make it a safe environment. And I guess that's kind of what I was trying to allude to. You can make that space safe with a number of different products on the market, including some other Enviroguard products like Prep and Par. But what Botanical offers on top of some of these other products is that it's like you're not only making it safe from an antibacterial, antimicrobial side of things, but you're also making it pleasant. And that's a huge component of customer satisfaction. If we went down in there and, bathed the place in sodium hypochlorite, forget about the carpet, or peroxide, or a quat or something like that, it's going to leave a very unpleasant odor for the homeowner. When these people are already displaced, they're already under a lot of stress. The Botanical product just fits so nicely into that opportunity to make the place safe and clean, as well as to kind of knock down that very unpleasant odor.
Got it. Okay. Now, one of the things that we also spoke about in our last conversation was the safety of it. Of course, Botanical is registered as a minimum risk product with the EPA, meaning that on the side where we have the active ingredients, it has to conform to a list, which is the thyme oil component. And then on the inactive components, then everything has to be food grade, those sorts of things. How does safety play a role in the day-to-day work you do with Botanical?
So just to stay on these basements, a lot of times, very often, these spaces are used for, I don't know what you want to call it, TV rooms or rec rooms or playrooms, so it's where the kids go to, the parents shove the kids down in the basement and there's, let them do their thing. And so a lot of times we'll come across Lego sets, Thomas the Tank Engine stuff, all kinds of different, a lot of us have had children. We know the amount of stuff that we can acquire over the years. And although these typically are considered Cat 3 losses, and most things should be thrown away, there's often a huge reluctance, whether it's because of lack of reimbursement or because of just Tommy doesn't want to throw away the Millennium Falcon, which is exactly what we're dealing with right now on the Lego set. And so we can offer the family the opportunity to say, okay, look, we can wipe down the play school plastic, the blown plastic slide. We can run the Legos through a bath of Botanical. There's a bunch of different things that we can do that will make those surfaces and those items that really the homeowner really wants to keep. We can do a lot with that Botanical to make them safe.
So what we're talking about then comes down to contents, right? Because we're not just talking about toys, and we're not just talking about, I don't know, furniture that might be down there and things of that nature. We're thinking from carpeting to walls
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
anything, right? I mean, is there anything that you come across that you go, that's stepping over the line?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about what we just did in the last 2 weeks since the storm. And we've used Botanical on the leather couch. We've used Botanical on the Millennium Falcon Lego set. We've used Botanical on the Play School blow molded slide, like the little sliding board. You know, I'm just thinking about all the contents that we've come across. There's just a tremendous amount of applications and a level of confidence that we're not going to damage items. I mean, a peroxide-based product has the ability to oxidize things, right? Sodium hypochlorite product, we all know what that can do to dyes and to. I mean, I would not wipe down a leather couch with a sodium hypochlorite product. Maybe you can. It's just I feel much more confident doing it with Botanical. And
Yeah,
then
I wouldn't recommend it.
yeah, and then as we're doing all of this stuff, it's only making the atmosphere in that space even more palatable, even more pleasant. Like it's like a win-win.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that we've been talking about, probably more and more, whether it's in our marketing or just one-on-one sitting down with customers, I find myself almost saying right away that the focus of Enviroguard versus maybe a standard chemical manufacturer is to not only understand our customers' business, but to understand how we can improve their top and bottom line. We do it all the time, and it's kind of natural to do it with Prep and Par because we have a completely built out system there with equipment and things of that nature that people have gotten to know with React Extract, the BTM sprayer, OxyPrep, OxyPar. However, that doesn't change the conversation when it comes to something like Botanical. It's just a slightly different conversation. So I know we were talking about GRM, GRMB, looking at other products that are available on the market and making some comparisons. Can you maybe, from your standpoint, give us some comparisons in the way that you think about it?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I mean, I kind of got on this. First of all, when I started in this business, the way I was taught was to use a quaternary cleaner, a quat, and just make sure your guys are safe. Make sure they're wearing the PPE. I met a guy at a WRT class who talked about kind of the long-term physical damage, the potential damage of quats to people that are applying it all the time. And he said to me, he goes, just go to a botanical, a botanical-based antimicrobial. You get paid more, and it's a whole lot safer for your guys to be around. And I was like, that sounds great to me. So we don't have a quat in our entire shop. We just don't use it. And I just looked recently doing an Xactimate invoice for a mitigation we just completed, and currently the GRMB, which is the code for the botanical antimicrobial, is a 4% premium on a per square foot basis in my price list versus the GRM, the non-botanical. And then so you get a boost in your revenue right out of the gate. And then I just looked on kind of one of those big supply house websites and compared the retail price for Enviroguard's botanical product on the 5-gallon side, and the retail price for a quat. And it looks to me like, you know, the retail to retail, the quat's about 17% higher in terms of price right now. So here we are. If you use Botanical, it checks off so many boxes. Your guys are safer. The odor, the pleasantness to the home is much greater. You make more money on the top line, and you're saving money on the cost side. So your margins are wider, your customers happier, and you're bringing in more money.
Talking about happy customers, what is it that you do say? How do you present a Botanical product to your customer when you start that conversation?
Everyone wants to know what you're doing downstairs. Is it safe? Do we need to leave the house? Do we need to go to a hotel? Can my kids not be in the home, right? Everyone's very concerned about safety. And so when you say we only use, Botanical based products, we're going to use a product that's absolutely safe, minimum risk, they go down a notch. Like, you can see them take a breath and relax. They'll ask a couple, so it's okay that we're here, blah, 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 it's okay to breathe in the odor. And once you start kind of walking them through the fact of how safe it is, they take a huge breath. They take, this is a very stressful time for them. And then if you're going to tell them that they've got to go to a hotel, or they got to leave their windows open, or they got to blow fans, or it's a great way to start a conversation in a very difficult time for these customers.
Yeah, it's funny because I've been, now in this business and in the restoration industry for about 15 years. And I think you can get so accustomed to the kind of the world that we live in, the shop talk that we share, that we forget the stress and the emotion, and just how serious and non-familiar a territory this is for most people. So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard for me. You see it. It's hard for me to put myself in those shoes still because I'm too close to the trees.
Right. Absolutely. All the time. And I have to tell you, we win jobs because of the way we present to these customers in terms of like referrals and unfortunately repeat customers sometimes. But and I think that products like Botanical absolutely help in that conversation, in that sense of, we're working for you. We're going to try to do the right thing. We are aware of the fact that you've got kids and that you're concerned and you don't go through this, every day, and we're going to help you through this.
One of the other things that I know before I bought Enviroguard, that we always focused on, and that some customers seem to, being contractors, some of our contractor customers seem to respond to, was that we only deal with the pros. We don't put our products out there on the shelves of Lowe's, Home Depot, or other distribution outlets that don't exclusively deal with the professionals. How does that play into, like, previous to you being a distributor of the products, did that play any role in your selection of the product, or just in general? I don't want to make that necessarily biased toward our product, but does it affect your business to use something that is available to consumers versus something that's maybe considered more of a professional brand?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would be embarrassed to walk into a customer's house with a product they saw on the shelf of a big box store. you're wanting to come in and give the sense of professionalism from the outset, and the fact that you're using products that are professional grade, it's exactly what we're supposed to be doing, right? We're the professional contractor using professional tools. um, you know to as an example, when we do a reconstruction, we're not, my guys aren't using the tools that the $79 table saw, right? We come in and we act professionally, and we use professional tools. And the chemical spectrum that we use on these products needs to be exactly the same. It needs to follow in, your uniforms are clean, your vehicles are clean, you act professionally and you present professionally. And having a product that's unavailable to the retail customer, or they don't know that it's available, but they don't see it on those shelves, that orange and blue shelving, it's definitely a part of the conversation.
Yeah, I know in the past, a lot of times that's centered on products like our, MaxGuard, ClearGuard, things of that nature, because we're so involved in the moisture control areas of chemistry as well. And the feedback to me would always be that contractors in general, if the customer knew that they could buy the product that was available to them, the perception wasn't so much, why are you using a product that we can get our hands on? It was more like, we know what you're paying for that.
Yeah,
So
that's true too.
Charging me so much.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true
right?
too. Yeah. So, I don't know if we want to name names. There's a masonry waterproofing product that is available at the big box home centers.
Yeah.
If we walk in with a pail of that, it's just it opens the door for a really bad conversation.
Yeah.
And or there is a section in those stores for mold remediation too, right? There's those mold tests and spray bottles of things that we don't want to. But like, if we walked in there and tried to charge a professional contractor's price, and we came in with a spray bottle of whatever it is stuff is, it wouldn't go well. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah, I never thought of it until I started getting that feedback. And like I said, it started on that side of coatings and things of that nature, but I can see how that could apply just about anywhere with the products you use.
Yeah, there's a green spray bottle, right, that is in our stores, at least up here, and I think it comes in a gallon jug too. And it would be embarrassing to even go in there with that product for mold remediation.
Right. One of the other things that I thought would be important to talk about is, so I ran the Enviroguard division of Paradigm for 8 years. The number one reason that I decided to buy that division of the company was for product availability. I thought if there's anything that we aren't doing right, it's getting the products closer to our customers.
Right.
Before we get into what the availability does look like, can you maybe relay to me, and our facility in Pennsylvania was only a 3-hour drive from you.
Yep.
But how did that impact your business? And then maybe we can contrast that with what we're doing now.
So there's always a bit of the restoration business. I mean, that you can. There's predictable, and then there's completely unpredictable. And it's not an industry where we want to, as from a restoration side, where we want to keep a lot of inventory, right? We don't want piles and piles of chemicals or consumables or whatever. And so when those real shocks to the system would come, whether that was you know a large storm or just anything like power outages that would cause backups or anything, you kind of have to react very quickly for it. You want to kind of get going. And also the last thing you really want to do is to be waiting on anything. You don't want to wait on labor or materials or equipment or dumpsters or anything. You got to get moving. And so it wasn't a complaint I had of being an Enviroguard customer, but it was something that was always an issue. So if we had to move quickly, there would be a little bit of a time lag. And now, we have virtually every SKU here in stock in town. We do same day delivery for a lot of our customer base, meaning we actually put it in a vehicle of ours and we'll hand deliver it to you. And then most every single time other than that, if you make a phone call to us, I think it's before 2 o'clock, we can get it to you the next day. So the lead times have, talking to our customers, the lead times have shrunk pretty dramatically.
Yeah.
And we're looking actually to put in another facility perhaps up towards the Boston, Cape Cod area to even get those guys some same day opportunities as well.
Yeah. There was something that you had said there that triggered a memory for me, and I lost it now. But so along the lines of availability, there's also that you have experience in the industry, right? As I had, when I had the consideration of either, okay, I'm going to take Enviroguard and run with it and maybe hire someone centrally to be my salesperson, if you will, versus putting a distribution opportunity in the hands of people who have lived and breathed the business and have the experience to be that support mechanism. We've worked in the field a little bit together with some customers, but
right.
What kind of feedback have you gotten from that decision that we made collectively?
Right. So I think that our customers have benefited from it. Both my partner Tim and I have been in this for quite a while, and we had a new customer come through the Enviroguard channels a week or so back, and didn't quite understand. Sort of knew what they were looking for, but didn't quite understand what they were looking for.
Right.
Putting MaxGuard on a cinder block wall, right? And so a below grade block wall, and so to have those conversations with them, or to talk to them a little bit about oxy prep dwell times, right? It's something you're going to get a feel for, something that you're going to understand a little bit better once you're out, doing it a couple of times. So we can kind of walk those customers through a little bit. Mark, you and I had that on-site visit with a customer of ours, who was not really letting it dwell long enough, right?
Right.
And wasn't seeing the results. But then as you get on site and you tell them slow it down and let it dwell a little longer, they become a lot happier. And I think that
have a slow it down to speed it up conversation.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I also think that what Tim and I have both noticed in our conversations is, a lot of these people have a very a narrow view of what they can market and what they can sell.
Right.
And so as a remediation contractor, we're MaxGuard, Masonry Guard, Prep, PAR, Botanical. We're in Shine On, Knockdown. I'm trying to think of all the, a number of different products. And so when you get that guy that's just in his lane, and you kind of want to ask him why he's in that lane, and sometimes, that's the perfect situation for him. But, we've been able to expand our business, expand our service offerings as restoration contractors with the Enviroguard product spectrum. And I think a lot of people will listen to that because we've actually, we've done it. We've gone out there, we market, we sell it, we make money off of it, and we can help customers price their jobs. We can help customers understand, how to calculate, whatever it is per gallon costs into your costs of your job to get you the right margin, and perhaps even expand your margins. I don't know. I think it was a good thing for you to bring in people that knew what they were doing rather than, rock star salespeople from other industries. Because the truth is that it is a pretty unique industry that is beholden to a very different set of standards, and we sell in a different kind of way to our customers. And to have people in the organization that kind of live and breathe it and do those same sales every day is probably pretty helpful.
Yeah. So I hate when I have the two of those thoughts occur at the same time. You have to pick which one you want to go with. You were talking about just that customer support, being able to kind of walk them through things, and then you had mentioned those other opportunities that people might be missing, right? I think about that all the time because when we went from just focusing on the remediation and mitigation side of things to moisture controls, it was a huge jump in our business. In fact, our business and our customers' businesses, we watched it nearly double one year. Right. How do you suggest / how do we help a customer who may be in that remediation and mitigation world maybe begin to adopt very related services while not being afraid that it's going to create confusion or maybe division is the wrong word for it, but maybe some sort of a shiny object over here that distracts from the original core business?
I think, I think talking as a contractor who does a lot of different things and just trying to explain the correlation between the businesses, I don't think any of our product lines is a complete 180 degrees. They're all, correlated to one and another. And, I just, I think that having those conversations as someone who is offering those prep and par solutions, the botanical solution, the coating solutions, all under the same roof, and being able to say, it's not only, I'm not doing it to necessarily to sell you the product. I'm doing it to tell you, you're missing revenue opportunities. When you walk into that house to take care of that problem, there's some other things that you can actually take care of too, correctly, safely, and to the benefit of the homeowner. Like this is all it's a very much a win-win-win situation where, you're able to kind of capture a bigger portion of the job, and you're able to do it, financially, positively, and you're able to offer the customer a better solution.
Was there ever trepidation for you in that? I'm just trying to get into the mind of somebody out there who, again, might be very mitigation, remediation heavy. What would some people are going to be watching this who might be in this position. What would you say to them to alleviate any trepidation or fear that they have in picking up moisture control services, for example?
Was there any trepidation? I mean, I don't think there was trepidation. I think there was some bit of relief for us when the coatings really when we started really adopting the coatings to be able to not only clean up the symptoms, but help in the issue itself. I think a lot of people want to. I think not a lot, but I think there are people that want to get in, do the job, clean the job, and get out. And I get it. I totally get it. Right? I mean, you can cut. You can get on to the next job. But if you don't, you're leaving something back, and you're also, not leaving the customer with everything you can possibly do. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, if I go in and if I compete against someone who's just going to go in and clean, and I come in and my ticket's 50% greater, 75% greater, but I'm offering all the cleaning that the other competitor did, but I'm also leaving the home, the residence in a better state, in a more stable state. I think that we win those jobs all the time.
Do the customers naturally, when you go in and you don't just say we can come in and mitigate this for you, but rather we can solve moisture issues that if we don't do it now could create an issue ongoing for you? Does that also give them relief? Like peace of mind?
Our pitch is, we're not as soft spoken about it. We say we think you're getting the issue from whatever this moisture penetration is, and if you don't fix it, then there's no warranty on the work. We're going to come in and we can clean this, but we'll be back here again in 6 months and we'll charge you the same amount of money. So, and I know as a fact that there are contractors out there that say, yeah, that's great. It's a repeat business. We like that. We like to come in every 6 months and charge the same thing. To me, that's not what we want to do. We want to take care of the issue, or take care of the symptoms, right? And then, get rid of the cold, so to speak, solve the problem, so that, I would rather them refer us to their neighbor or their friend than to keep going back every 6 months, because that runway runs out pretty quick. They get pretty fed up with it, and that's not what we want. And
then you don't have the referral or the business anymore.
Right. Yeah. They came in here 4 times. They charged me the same amount of money every time, and I still have it. Right. It's still going on. Whereas we charged a little bit more on the front end than the competitor. We spent a little bit more time there. We did a little bit more work, and they go on social media and recommend us and give us to their friends and their family and everyone else.
And give you a good Google review.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I think you could look on our reviews. A lot of people come in and they pitch them one way and we pitch them another way a lot of times for a lot more, not a lot, but for more money or a higher cost, and they go with us and they give us a 5-star review.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about any of this, but that stuff really means a ton, right? I mean, like algorithm wise, we're way out of my my lane here, but my developers, like, those positive reviews, those are gold, and the more you get, the higher up you're going in your rankings. So you want to leave every house, like, go back to the original conversation with Botanical. You want to leave every house smelling good. You want to hold their hand about the Millennium Falcon and their kids and the leather couch and all. You want to make sure that you don't walk out of there without them feeling like you did everything you could for them.
Right. So it comes down to understanding the problems, being empathetic.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
Being thorough in your solutions that you're thinking through with them. I know this. A lot of our customers still today, if I were to like take all of the phone calls or web meetings that I have in the course of the day, the biggest slice of that pie would be to conversations where our customers know exactly what they're doing, but we're walking through it again for their own peace of mind to make sure that the solutions that they're proposing for their customers are spot on, and sometimes also that the product's being used correctly by their technicians.
Right.
That training side of things, that's such an important part of it.
Right. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. From the moment you pick up the phone till the moment they hand you that final check, and whether that's applying the products correctly or giving that sense of empathy and understanding that what's going on. Just keep using the right products, being safe about things, being courteous about, like, it all adds up.
Yeah. Probably common sense, but sometimes it's easy to get busy and rush.
We have a very large competitor here in town, or not in town, but in the area, who is notorious for like running and gunning, not caring about what they leave behind, just leaving people in the dust and not helping them through these difficult moments. And I think that if what I try to do with all my crews is try to really impart the fact that we're trying to do the right thing all the time. And if that means spending a little bit more extra time with them, or whatever, explaining things more thoroughly, or really kind of going over their concerns, then so be it. It's worth it.
Yeah. Is there anything that we didn't touch on? We started with Botanical, and then we started talking more about the relationship, and which is equally, if not more important than the product that's being used. But is there anything that we're missing in our conversation here that might help someone watching this video or listening to it?
So I'm a late adopter, but I think something that really has changed I'm sorry, I'm rambling. The thing, you want to present yourselves positively on that on that initial contact. These people are going through challenging times, especially on the mitigation side, on the disaster side, right? And so guys carry extra shirts with them in their trucks. Most of the guys carry a second pair of boots. We try to present as well as best we can. And it wasn't until I started the relationship with distributor with Enviroguard that we started using Shine On for all of our equipment. And we were taking, it's a little bit of a confessional. We were taking equipment from one job to the next job to the next job, not really spending a whole lot of time. We'd service them and maintain them, but man, just to show up at the curb with equipment that has been thoroughly cleaned, smells great, looks great, guys look great, no one's coming with holes in their jeans or looking disheveled, bedraggled. It's just one of those things that I like. It is such an easy step in the process and makes, to me, a huge bit of difference on that first impression, right? You walk in, everything, like, the equipment smells good, which is just silly to say, but it matters. It totally matters. We're coming out on the good foot, looking like we know what we're doing, but not looking like a bunch of bums. So
yeah, it just kind of comes back to in everything that you do it well.
Yeah. And this was a product that I really didn't have any exposure to beforehand. And now that we do, it's easily incorporated into our daily mix. And just as a plug for Enviroguard of the North Atlantic, so we are breaking those cases down, and we can sell you individual bottles for a larger, if you're putting in an order with us, we can throw a bottle of the Shine On in with you. And if you've got that blow molded DHU and those fans, or even the stainless, it's not stainless steel, but the steel scrubbers, they clean up great. They look, it's that one very inexpensive thing that you can do. You got your guys in your shirts, you got the van labeled up. Like, why not take that last little step and really kind of do the right thing?
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for being here for our first chemical conversation. Really appreciate this, and I'm looking forward to kind of watching this. Kind of we step by step take this through a lot of our customers nationwide, and hopefully these conversations, they begin to help the entire group.
Yeah, so, for sure. Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
No problem, Mark. I get to sit at the desk for a minute.
Right. I'll see you soon. Thanks.
All right, man. Take care.
Okay. Bye.